Hi friends, this is Bapi Raju and welcome to my YouTube channel. In my previous video, I explained about different services offered by cloud computing, and in this video, I will try to explain the concept of microservices with very simple examples such that everyone, even though they don't have any technical background, can understand the concept. Okay, let us jump into the concepts. I will start with one real-time example and correlate this with one technical example. Okay, so let us say there is one organization where three employees are working in three different departments: finance, marketing, and technical support. So the responsibilities of the finance departments is to reach the customers and clear all financial dues. And coming to marketing, the responsibilities include promote the new products and engage new customers within the business. And finally, the technical support is responsible to attend any calls where there are any technical issues in the products marketed by the organization. So now we will look into the way how these three employees use it to engage with customers and what is the issue in that approach. So initially when they started the job, so all these three employees use it to go together for any customer call, even though the requirement is only for one of the services. So let us say the customer only needs some technical support. He doesn't need any marketing or financial services, even though the other two use it to accompany with the technical support team and wait until he completes his job, and then they used to move to the next customer. So now at some point with retrospective, they found that there is some kind of issue in this approach, and all three are not able to be much productive and achieve their targets. So now they tried to revisit this approach in such a way they will going forward they will only independently attend the customers based upon the exact requirement of the customer. Suppose if the customer is having a requirement for financial services, only Mr. Adam will visit the customer, and the rest of the two will try to engage with customers who have requirement with marketing and technical support independently. So now what will happen in this scenario, they are able to address more customers because they are not dependent upon each other. So they use it to achieve their targets, and this is the concept of microservices in a real time. So earlier, in the earlier, the approach they followed is kind of a monolithic, such that everyone is dependent upon others unnecessarily. So now they've adopted the microservice approach such that they independently handle the customers and be more productive and bring more profits to the business. So now let us correlate this with one example of e-commerce which everyone is familiar. So let us say there is one company which is launching the e-commerce solutions, and as part of that e-commerce solutions they have three major services providing to the customers. One is content management. It will display all the products of the e-commerce and make the customers understand the products and the prices. And the second one is transaction management. Once the customer finalizes what products he want to buy, he will be navigated to the transaction management and he can place the orders. And finally there is one database service which will record all these transactions and will also allow to generate some reports. Now the issue with this e-commerce site is all these three services are deployed in one box. So now at some point initially there is no issue, but at some point when the volume of customers is increasing, the e-commerce company has analyzed some issues such that only 50% of the customers who are visiting content management are again moving to the transaction management. Means, let us say suppose if 1 lakh users are visiting content management, only 50,000 are going to transaction management. The rest of the customers are not doing any transaction, just they are visiting the content and leaving the site. So now in this scenario, what is happening? Unnecessarily, the transaction management is getting a burden of 50% of more performance issues because of this unnecessary high volume. Okay, and then coming to the database. Now here one database is being commonly used for both transactions as well as reporting. So because of this, there is also happening a performance hit on the database when there is huge volume from the customers doing the transactions and the reportings being generated simultaneously. So now the e-commerce company want to follow some different approach such that they need to address all these issues. So now I will show you the microservices approach, how the e-commerce company has addressed this issue. So now in this slide, you are seeing the microservices approach e-commerce company is trying to follow to address all the issues. In this microservices approach, they have separated the content management, transaction management, and database transactions and database reports into separate applications and deployed in each individual servers. So now what will happen? The content management will have the only the traffic of one, even though the content management is having the 1 lakh customers traffic. So the rest of the 50,000 who are hitting the transaction management, right? So the original customers who are intended to do the transactions only be visiting the transaction management. So the unnecessary customers who are just visiting the site to view the content will not touch the transaction management, such that the transaction management system's performance will be improved very much and the business will be more profitable. And now coming to the database. So now they separated the database into two separate boxes. One is for purely for transaction purpose, means the customer orders and the customer related information, everything they will save in this database. And then whenever there is some change in this database, they are trying to get that data in a backend into a reporting server, such that the reporting server will be independent of the transaction server and the teams can generate the reports without any issues. So like this, in this microservices approach, they are providing the services to the customers and getting maximum benefit of the applications. So with this, I want to conclude this video and I will upload more videos in this cloud computing area in future. Thank you.